Laura's got a secret, oh what a tale. She spins a wild story, set to sail without a sail. Fake baby bumps, she's got tricks up her sleeve, but the boys see through it, they just can't believe. Oh Laura, 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 what did you do? Play and pretend just to make it through. The boys fight back, they're standing tall. Laura's big surprise is no surprise. Points her finger, you're the bad guy now. But truth's got legs and it's taken a bow. Her plans unravel like a thread on a spool. Life's not a game and you're breaking the rules. Lies and lawsuits, so what a show. But justice is coming, it's starting to grow. You can't win hearts with tricks or a fight. The truth shines brighter than a starry night. Remember, don't twist what's true. Life's much better when you just be you. Laura's learning the hard way it seems. Honesty's the hero in everyone's dreams. Oh Laura, Laura, what did you do? Play and pretend just to make it through. The boys fight back, they're standing tall. Laura's big surprise is no surprise at all.
Heyo! Welcome back. It is Sunday, and as I promised you guys, we are going to... Oh, that's a lot of information left in the Laura Owens Criminal Investigations Report. But I thought something is about... I feel it in my bones. Something is about to happen. So I want to get this finished so we all can be prepared for what's coming next. Might be next week. Might be in 2 weeks. I don't know. But, you know, with Mommy and Daddy Owens getting their bankruptcy dismissed. Yeah, I have this strong feeling that something will happen. Oh, hi, Cat. Hello. And Fiery Red is here. And I saw GD is here. Nikki Power, mispronounced name, is here as well. Spinster. Denise. A lot of you are here. A lot of you are already here. Welcome. Have you had a good weekend, folks? I had a decent weekend, I think. I mean, Friday, well, with power out, wasn't fun. But I did manage to get half an hour on laid back law. And yeah, so Friday, the Friday slightly bust Friday show became a slightly bust Saturday show. And well, we had fun. We went through the Aidan Carney hearing, and we we saw the woman who had schmexy time on Court Zoom. Oh, that was hilarious. I did cut it out as a separate video, so you can watch only that. If you missed it, it was hilarious. It was me, Hayden from Aussie Overlord, Hella from Excited Utterance, and Dali from Dali Talks. And oh, you know, that was amazing. Oh, and next time she's ordered to be in the courtroom for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons. Now, I do believe, if you remember Judge Moore, no, not Judge Moore, Coach Moore, and his case will be back in Judge Simpson's court mid-February, so in a couple of weeks. So I'll be having a look out for that one. And well, of course, when I'm not doing anything, I tune into Judge Simpson's court, because if something happens, I'm rushing in to try to capture it and record it. So because Judge Simpson has this, yes, we can watch him live, but then he deletes the live stream. So you have to be prepared and try to catch it when it happens. Yeah, Dali can fix her. Oh, there's a lot of fixing going on there. There's a lot of fixing. Oh, hello, Gwendolyn. Oh, baking bread. Oh, that's so nice. Colorado Mountain Girl. Not Tennessee Girl. Colorado Mountain Girl. I learned that the other day. This weekend has been fantastic. Today and this week are going to be in the 60s. Yay! Nice. All right, folks. We have reached this point. We are on page 75. And Detective T.Boe is interviewing Clayton Echard. As again, I have not pre-read this. I have not. So this will be new to me as it is to you. Well, we kind of know. We kind of know because we watched the hearings and everything. But sometimes you get surprised. Let's see here. There. All right, folks. Ready? Maricopa County Attorney's Office Investigations Division Supplemental Report Form. Victim, State of Arizona, Clayton Echard. Defendant Laura Owens. Charges: perjury, tampering with evidence, forgery, fraud schemes. Detective T.Boe. I had telephone contact with victim Clayton Echard on 4/29/2025 at approximately 14:30 hours. That's 2:30 p.m. This telephone contact was audio recorded. The following is a summary. Nick, are you going over to Arizona for this trial? I am not, sadly. I am not. I know I have said that my goal this year was to go to East Coast, USA. That has changed slightly due to the political events that is going on, which I hate doing it, but I have to adjust my plans. So, September, I'm going to Canada. And probably, not confirmed yet, having a meetup with Ian Runkle. So that are the preliminary plans for this year. So, but I really, really wish I could go to East Coast, because that would mean that I would have been in Canton, Massachusetts in September. That would have been fun. But postponed to next year, probably. depending on what's going on in the political sphere. Make sure to bring home some of our genuinely good ice while I will try. All right, let's continue. I began by telling Clayton that I was reviewing some information and working on a report and that I had some questions. I asked if Laura contacted him about a week prior to their meeting. Clayton said that it was a week or two. I asked if he recalled the exact date. Clayton told me that Laura reached out to him on LinkedIn, and he could find the date through that. And he could trace it with his text messages. I said I understand that she contacted him on LinkedIn and asked how soon after that she made phone contact. Oh, Divance Moore is here. Hello. Boo. I said I understand she contacted him on LinkedIn and asked how soon after that she made phone contact. Clayton said it was pretty quick after because he had given her his cell number for the purpose of viewing homes. Clayton said that they began texting right after their LinkedIn contact. Clayton felt that they texted for a couple of weeks. Then she came to his home that one night. Oh, that dreadful night. I said that I understand that Laura Owens sent him a provocative photo of some type. Clayton said that she sent him a photo of her butt, not nude, but in spandex shorts or something like that. I asked Clayton if he still had that picture, aside from what she was wearing. No, Clayton indicated that he could locate it on his computer as to what Laura was doing in the picture, aside from what she was wearing. Clayton said she wasn't doing anything lewd. She was just showing off her shape. There was no nudity or anything like that. I asked if she was by a pool, by the stables, or in her home. Clayton could not recall the background. She was beside one of her horses, by the way. Clayton asked if he should pull the image from his computer. I indicated so. Clayton also asked if I wanted timelines on the first LinkedIn message. I said yes. When she first contacted him on LinkedIn and why they had the first phone contact. Hi, Christine. Good to have you here. And Rhinestone Wow Girl. Hello. South Florida. Drifter. Tiny Torch is here. Hey, good to have you all here. Hit the thumbs up. I asked Clayton if he knows what the date was when Laura took the pregnancy test at his home. Clayton said he could identify it from the timestamp on the photo, but does not know it off the top of his head. I asked if he was the one that if this was the one that she took in his bathroom. Clayton said yes. I told Clayton that when we first spoke, he mentioned that he thought Chris Lane may have been a victim or a witness of some type. Oh, another name? Haven't heard that name before. I told Clayton that he was on an earlier season of The Bachelor, and he thought that he may have been a victim or a witness. Clayton said there was a guy, but he didn't think his last name was Lane. He said he was picturing a different guy. Clayton told me that there was a guy that had interacted with her that was on The Bachelorette. She tried to make advances, and he shot her down. It never became a thing. Clayton said that he never knew Chris Lane, and that he thinks that it may have been another guy. The other guy never engaged with her. Lucky guy. I asked Clayton to send me the information with the dates when he has the opportunity. I asked Clayton if he lost any jobs or any money due to this. Clayton said that he had one documented deal that he lost. Clayton said that it was a skincare company, and they stopped responding to him. Clayton reached out to see why they stopped. They sent him an email indicated that they were going to pull the partnership in light of the allegations. I asked Clayton to send me the email. Yeah, folks, allegations, even though you read allegations in the news against sports personalities, TV personalities, stuff like that, there are still allegations until proven. And there are so many people that we find out years later, even decades later in some cases, that the allegations were false. And by that time, their career are ruined. Now, we can still use our judgment, but do remember that sometimes the allegations are false. We know that now with Clayton Echard. We know that now with Johnny Depp. So I say that to keep that in mind when it comes to Coach Moore, which is a case out of Michigan I will follow. Now, he has admitted that he screwed around in the office, which is always a bad idea. But does it reach a criminal thing? That's the thing that we are about to see, I suppose. Where were we? Skincare company. Asked Clayton to send me the email. I asked if there was a position with a self-ending support group. Clayton said that it was a mental health support group, and Laura was trying to stop him from speaking, saying that he was a deadbeat dad and that he didn't care about her mental health. Clayton said that he wasn't getting paid for that. Clayton said concerning the money that he lost, it would be under 10 grand. Yeah, but it's still kind of a lot of money. He said that he couldn't get a lot of places to respond. The companies would not respond back, and they wouldn't tell him why. I asked about Dancing with the Stars. Clayton said that he really didn't think he was in contention for that. Clayton said that he would send me the information via email. I received an email from Clayton on April 29th, 2025, containing a PDF titled Date of Pregnancy Test Sent, First contact via LinkedIn, Lost Skincare brand deal, and provocative video. After reviewing the email images, I noted that the LinkedIn contact was May 17th, 2023, and the first text exchange also began on May 17th. The date of the event at Clayton's home was on May 20th. The text message to Clayton with the pregnancy announcement was on June 1st, 2023. And these are the ones. Laura saying, please check your email. I'm pregnant. I went to the doctor today. No, she never went to the doctor that day. And I explained everything in the email that confirms it's yours. You, for fuck's sake, you stupid cow. Not only... I mean, we're talking about June 1st, May 20th, 11 days. Getting a positive pregnancy test after 11 days, that in itself is not probable, and now we know it was false. But confirming it's Clayton's? Nah. No. And here's the Owens from LinkedIn. This is the... Okay, when Laura contacted him via LinkedIn. Here is from the skincare company. And this is Laura Owens with her horse barely dressed. There is no further information at this time. Okay. That was not... Yes, mispronounced name. But Nick, have you considered the fact that she's got a magic uterus? Yeah, she makes babies appear and disappear. Oh, that was not a long interview with Clayton. I thought it would be longer. Okay. Maricopa County Office Submittal Form, Michelle Owens, the charges, fraudulent schemes, artifices, perjury, tampering with evidence, forgery. Yeah, those were the original 4. Since then, it extended up to 7 regarding Clayton Echard alone, and then an additional 7 with Greg Gillespie. Mouthful. Oh. All right, what's next here? Maricopa County supplementary report. Oh, Greg Gillespie. Interview with Greg Gillespie. This is by Detective Gonzalez. So not T.Boe. We are now with G. Gonzalez. On 7/23/2024, I conducted an interview with Greg Gillespie. The interview was audio recorded and saved to the server. The following is a summary of the interview, although not verbatim. For additional information, please refer to the recording. You police officers in Boston, Canton, Delphi, Indiana, and other places, this is how it's supposed to be done. If you are conducting an interview with a witness, victim, suspect, record it. All of it. Okay? Don't accidentally delete, shred, or manufacture shit that's not true. Okay? I don't think that will happen. I don't think, no. Greg explained that he met Laura Owens when she connected with him on a dating app June 30th, 2021. A couple of days later, they decided to go on a date. Greg described the first date as a fairly normal experience, but did say Laura was pushing to come back to his house. Greg and Laura went on a second date the next day. He said it went well. They went out for a couple of hours and went back to his house. Greg and Laura engaged in schmexitang, the boing, 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 while at his house. He said they used protection, and Laura told him that she was on protection. Greg and Laura went out one more time, after which he dropped her off at home. From that time, they communicated over text messages or emails, except for a meeting on July 4th. This is where Greg told Laura that he was not interested in dating her. Laura then started to text Greg excessively during the next 13 days in an attempt to get him to change his mind. Because Laura Owens' brain is 14 to 15 years old, and when she is not getting the exact way that she wants it, she throws a tantrum. And by the way, in 2021, Laura Owens is, I believe, 29 or 30. Yeah, happy. Boing, boing, boing. Bow, shika, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hi, Derek. Good to have you here. Greg realized he was not dealing with a normal person. Oh, yeah. Through text messages, told Laura if she kept contacting him, she was going to block her number. This worked for about 24 hours, and Laura started contacting him again. Around the 14th day, Laura sent Greg a picture of a positive pregnancy test. Eventually, she would state that she was having twins. Ta fucking da. Greg knew it was not possible. Laura was pregnant with his children. He said he used protection, and we are going back to very, very bad hustler stories here. He said he used protection, and when he ejected, he pulled it off and ejected on Laura's back. That's kind of stupid. Greg got up to get a towel for Laura, which it only took a few seconds. When he returned, Laura was clean. And she said she already took care of it. Okay. Greg, check your t-shirt drawer because yeah. Greg felt this was strange and thought she may have tried to shove the ejection up her vagina. The turkey paster method. Check for future men in Laura Owens' life. Check her purse for a turkey paster. If she has it there, run. Well, run anyway, but especially run faster if she has a turkey paster in her purse. Greg said his mind was spinning and he started to look things up, but he still felt it was not possible she was pregnant. Eventually, the subject of termination came up, but Laura had some stipulation about it. She would have a termination if they could date long term and eventually have children the right way. Yeah, there's something seriously wrong with Laura Owens. Laura sent Greg an ultrasound around August 4th, 2021. Greg performed a reverse Google image search and found the original ultrasound. It belonged to Stormy Mitchell. Yeah, we talked about Stormy Mitchell the other day. Laura Owens not only stole her ultrasound, Laura Owens stole Stormy Mitchell's heartbreaking story when she testified at trial. That Laura Owens became, in my opinion, she went from a disturbed, spoiled, rotten, entitled cunt to evil. Right then and there, when she did that. I believe that is in episode 3. When was that? That was on January 29th. So that would have been Thursday, part 3. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Davance Moore. Who belonged to Stormy Mitchell, who posted it on her blog. Greg also noticed Laura manipulated the ultrasound to say 3 months and 0 days, and the original says 3 months and 2 days. Laura denied sending the ultrasound to Greg. However, he called her after she sent it to him and recorded the conversation. Good for you, Greg. Good for you. Greg says during the conversation, Laura can be heard telling him to look at the ultrasound. She also claimed the ultrasound showed twins. During their civil court case, Laura said that Greg sent the ultrasound to himself and hacked her computer to make it look like she sent it. Greg and his attorney attempted to use this ultrasound to show that Laura was lying about her pregnancy. Greg said Laura supposedly took termination pills prior to sending him the ultrasound. She claimed he forced her to take them. She also claimed the ultrasound shows twins, but one of them was dying because of the termination pills she took. Greg told me he did not see her take the pills, and he did not believe Laura ever took any termination pills. No, of course not. She was never pregnant. I asked Greg if Laura wanted anything else from him besides a relationship. He told me she wanted money. He said she didn't want a lot of money, but she kept threatening him with paying child support and for mental health issues that may have come out of this situation. Greg said Laura sued him for $45,000. He said she was asking for money and a guarantee that he would love her and marry her in 2 years. Yeah, she's cray for real, and quite evil. Greg blocked Laura from calling him, but she kept calling him from different phone numbers. that she would make using different apps. Every time he blocked her, she would make threats that he was going to have to pay his child support for the next 18 years. She also contacted his mom, dad, and sister. I asked Greg about an attorney in California that Laura knows. Greg told me Laura fabricated emails between her and this attorney, Joe Cotchett, and sent them to Greg. Greg believed it was Laura's way of bullying him to get him to comply with what she wanted. Greg's attorney reached out to Joe Cotchett's law firm, and they responded by saying they do not represent Laura. She lied. Greg said Laura was trying to get him to sign a contract to make him date her. Yeah, the dating contract. Wow. I asked how he found out about Mike Maricini. He told me when Laura sent the ultrasound, it felt like she was using a blueprint. It made him feel like she had done this before. Greg began Googling Laura's name, and within an hour he found out about Michael's case. Greg's attorney researched the case and found out it also involved an alleged fake twin pregnancy. Greg reached out to Michael via Instagram, but he did not get a response. Eventually, Greg did meet Michael because of the case involving Clayton Echard. He said they did not discuss their cases, and what he knows about Michael's case is from what he heard on a podcast, and also what he found out from his attorney. Greg told me Laura was only able to show a urine test to prove she may be pregnant. He does not think she was ever pregnant and believes she manipulated the urine test to show she's pregnant. This concluded my interview with Greg. He agreed to provide me with all the records he retained regarding this case. On 08/02/24, Greg Gillespie forwarded multiple emails sent to him from Laura. Greg saved these emails to document the situation between him and Laura. Greg retained counsel to defend himself from the lawsuit she filed against him because he would not agree to date her. The following are emails Laura sent to Greg over 3 months after he blocked her 10 times. A brief summary is written after each email. Oh, here we go down the non-pregnant rabbit hole. From Laura Owens to Greg Gillespie. Hi! I can't do that voice of Laura, but I will try anyway. I had total trust in you to keep your word, but I'm pretty sure you aren't at this point, which is devastating given the current circumstances. I don't know why it's so hard for me to accept you are maybe just selfish and awful. But I truly don't understand how a person could have sent me the messages and conveyed to me such a genuineness if it was all a lie. It is extremely hard to not know what is ahead and go through this alone. You're not pregnant. Laura, stop faking pregnancies. Men will not love you. Period. Especially not when you pull this shit. I would be willing to file for a pre-trial dismissal and withdraw my documents like the one attached because as it stands, they are public record and anyone can view them. If I do it before your 20 days and or you file a response, I don't think it's possible. I would only do that if you were somehow having a mental breakdown from the stress and now intended to be who you said you were going to be. See, anyone see the new legal docs that drops from 2016 where Laura lied about the value sale of one of her horses? I have not, but I check in on the Victims of Laura Owens webpage from time to time. So, yeah, she's a wackadoo. I don't want it to affect your employment or whatever in the future. That is not at all my intention. Yes, it is. If you were really just leading me on, 45 grand does not come close to the unnecessary guilt and anguish you have caused and continue to cause me. I would much rather have your word and support than your money. That's extortion. Laura, You're suing for 45. Either pay me $45,000 or I will continue to be a cunt. That is basically what Laura Owens is saying. Now, say that Greg paid the 45 grand. Would she have stopped? No. She would have continued. I have been discussing this with 2 attorneys. No, you haven't. And have not picked between them, or may have 2. One is a canon lawyer, because this case has a lot to do with decisions based on faith. I never forced you into a relationship, as there was always an option of me going on my own way. But you were forcing me into having a termination. There was never a termination. You were never pregnant, Laura. If you truly thought I was a psychopath and was going to bail, why would you have waited until the day after I took termination pills to block me? You never took termination pills. It was because you didn't want a child. You intentionally misled me to go against my own morals. You don't have morals, you cow. Which I told you would destroy me for your own personal benefit. For fuck's sake, how long is this fucking email? No. Again, this is by nowhere near all of the evidence. You told me to trust you 68 times. Why not 69? You told me that you haven't changed your mind about what you wanted, and that your answer about a future for us hasn't changed 74 times. My vast number of texts to you were because A, I didn't want to make the right call about a termination, and B, I didn't trust you to keep your word. The only further proof that I had a reason to doubt you. There was never been a doubt of paternity. No, because you were never pregnant. Whatsoever, and I'm not ashamed of myself for anything I said or did. Oh, we know, Laura, we know you have no shame. We know you have no morals. You stole a woman's sonogram and her heartbreaking story about losing her children. You stole that, Laura. You have no morals. You have no ethics. You truly belong in prison. The society needs to be safe from you until your body doesn't produce hormones to get pregnant. Hopefully, menopause comes early for Laura Owens. I don't know why I'm allowing you another chance to be the guy I thought you were, but I am. Like you said, you love the quote, when people show you who they are, believe them. Oh. Yeah. Laura showed the world who she were back in 2014. Sadly, the courts at that time, 2014, 15, 16, believed her all the way up to when she was actually forced to be cross-examined, when discovery was allowed. With Clayton Echard, your decade of fraud, deception, blackmail, scams was finally over. I so badly want to believe you're the guy I met and who convinced me of our great future together, because that doesn't seem like the same person as now. It would be way easier for me to comprehend stress and depression than you being a selfish, cowardly, pathological liar. That's projection. If I don't hear from you about this email by tonight, I will have my process server contact your work to get it, which I didn't want to do myself. You can look up the case on the Maricopa Superior Court website. And you can call or text me at a now discontinued number if you want to. The email references civil complaints that the complaint detailer claimed that Greg owed Laura the sum of $45,000 for coercing her into having a termination. She also makes a point to bring up Greg's job and says she will have a process server contact his place of work. That is blackmail. Blackmail. Another email from Laura to Greg. How long is this? Not long. Hi, Greg. Circa Lighting informed me this is the correct email for you. I'm attaching the official documents for the case, which means service, although in order to cover my bases, you will be served with papers of everything tonight. You can view more info on the case if you make an account on T.Boe Court. I also want to let you know that after I went to the clinic this morning, you never went to a clinic. I found out I'm still pregnant. You were never pregnant. I know this is only going to create more challenges because I'm not going to proceed with the termination and the false pretenses and will instead trust that this child was meant to be born, regardless of any potential defects. You were never pregnant. There was never a child. Any potential defects comes from your filth DNA. I would have a respect for you if you and I had gone on in just a few dates. No, you would never have stopped, Laura. I never would have proceeded with a lawsuit if that happened. Blackmail. You did this intentionally twice, and you knew this would cause extreme emotional distress for me. You are the cause of everyone's emotional distress. Which is something you didn't want to deal with, so you blocked me. I texted you throughout the day because when I was weighing my options, I didn't trust you to keep your word and wanted reassurance. The legal advice I've gotten so far has adamantly been to go full steam ahead with a lawsuit. I doubt it. File a criminal lawsuit. No. And not give you another chance because they don't think that someone who manipulated me is healthy to be with. I'm so defensive of you, and no, I shouldn't be. They have said that your lack of response to the many chances I've given you is equivalent to your admission of guilt. Fuck you! Not a lawyer with the ethical boundaries, with respect for their ethical boundaries, would ever have told Laura that silence is admission of guilt. Not one. Now, a few years later, with Ginger ass, sure. Because that piece of garbage would have told her anything. Because, I mean, he did help her to lie in court. I'm amazed he's not a co-defendant in the case. Yet. I keep saying that I think you meant what you said on our cooling off. As I said so many times, if you meant to prove that you intend to keep your word, I will completely drop this before we get a court date. Laura! In this email, Laura again acknowledges Greg blocked her from contacting him. She expresses she is experiencing emotional distress, but she is willing to drop the lawsuit if Greg keeps his word. She wants Greg to date her. Another? Oh, for fuck's sake. To Greg again. Hi! Laura, don't use the word hi. That's for Vikings only. I wanted to ask you one last time if you want to keep all the promises that you made me, and if so, I will voluntarily dismiss all charges and agree not to file anything again regardless of the outcome. Blackmail? At any point during this process, you could have said, whoa, that's too much to ask, I'm out. No. You didn't take that opportunity, though. You kept telling me you would keep your word and then afterwards make horrible statements to me about how I was crazy for wanting what you told me you wanted. The key here is that you waited until after I took the termination pills, when you had every opportunity to tell me your real feelings during the process. You never took termination pills. Yeah, my Laura voice is... it's like hearing Dali trying to talk with my accent. Our relationship was not under no circumstances whatsoever. There was never a relationship. It was a few dates and the schmexy time. And then off you fucked. It wasn't like we just dated. Yes, it was. And I asked you to be together with the huge expectations when you weren't ready. That would definitely not constitute a lawsuit. In our case, though, we create human life. No, you didn't. That I wanted to carry to term. No, there was never a child. And you manipulated me into not doing that. There was never a child. I set very high expectations because I wanted to know that you were not going to leave. You know exactly the impact that a termination would have on me. There was never a termination. You brought this on yourself. At this point, I need to know that I proceeded with this for a reason. As of this morning, I'm still pregnant with a single baby, not two. No, you were never pregnant, you thieving, conniving cahoon. And will not terminate it unless you keep your word. I wanted to and still want to go out with you. Ugh. Because I want to believe that you meant what you told me so many times. And that I didn't make this decision because of empty promises and extreme pressure from you. Yeah, this is more a Monty Python-esque interpretation of Laura's voice. Hi, Polly. If not, I have been advised to file criminal charges against you for fraud, where I can easily establish my case. Fuck you. The elements needed for this charge are to establish misrepresentation of fact by someone who knows the presented fact is false. Yeah, ironically, this is now used against you, Laura, to establish misrepresentation of fact by someone who knows the presented fact is false. You were never pregnant, Laura. You were never pregnant. You misrepresented this to Greg. In addition, that person should rely on the misrepresentation to cause injury or losses to someone else. It's a Class 2 felony that carries probation to 1 year in jail or a prison sentence. I do not want to go that route at all, but I will if things are as they appear to be right now, and that you wanted me to get a termination at all costs, knowing the impact it would have on me. I don't want to spend another minute on this because I know neither of us have the time, but I absolutely will if needed. Blackmail again. All I want is what you told me you wanted if I got the termination. A real, genuine relationship where we even thought, though we have no idea if it works in the end or not, we really try. Never going to happen, Laura. Never going to happen. You would never have stopped stalking either of your victims. Proof of that, a decade after you tried to ruin Mike Maricino's life, you crept trying to ruin his life a decade later. Let me know what you want. And if not, I don't have any moral issues. You don't have morals. Proceeding with this on a civil and criminal level. You can text or call me whenever you would like. Laura. In this email, Laura threatens to file criminal charges in addition to the civil lawsuit if Greg does not agree to a real, genuine relationship. She claims to still be pregnant with a single baby. She previously claimed to have twins. None of it was true. Next email. Hi! Stop using that word, Laura. I wanted to ask you one last time. Jesus Christ, take the hint, Laura. Nobody wants you. Up until you try to snatch Clayton Echard, you at least had a theoretical chance to find a man, have a relationship. Now we know all about you. You will never have a man unless you radically change. And even if you radically change, you have to apologize publicly to every person in your life you have done this to. every stolen sonogram, every faked pregnancy test. And you should do it on a TED Talk. Just count everybody up that you have tried to scam with your false pregnancies. And then you have the economic debts to Clayton, to every creditor in your bankruptcy case. There are probably literal hundreds of people you have to personally apologize for and make amends. And then maybe you will be worthy of somebody loving you. I will voluntarily dismiss all charges and agree not to file anything again, regardless of the outcome. At any point during this process, you could have said, "Whoa, that's too much to ask, I'm out." You didn't take that opportunity, though. You kept telling me you would keep your word, and then, Jesus Christ, Laura, this is just repetitive. This email was sent twice. It is the same as the previous email. So she just badgering. Gonzalez says here, in this email, Laura tells Greg that she may retain Joe Crotches as a counsel regarding a civil case. She also says Joe told her she should ask for more money and additional charges. No. She tells Greg that Joe would want to go to the media with this case. At the end of the email, Laura makes it clear that she will drop the litigation if Greg dates her. Laura also attached a note from One Medical. Lisa Daniels, PAC, wrote a summary of Laura's recent visit. She never visited. She never visited. The note indicates that Laura is pregnant. She was never pregnant. Greg believes Laura fabricated this note. I contacted Lisa Daniels. She's still working for One Medical. Lisa confirmed that she did not write the Your Pregnancy note dated August 13th, 2021 that Laura sent to Greg. Yeah. That, I believe, is one of the identity theft charges against Laura Owens. A new email. I don't know if you have gotten my emails, but like the court said, I needed to make every effort to contact you before filing for alternative service, which should be approved today. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know I just got back from the obstetricians. You never went to an obstetrician. And I am indeed pregnant with a baby that has grown. You were never pregnant. It didn't grow by much, which isn't a great thing in terms of how healthy he or she will be, but the fact that there was growth at all means it's still viable. The doctor said that she would be very surprised if there wasn't some sort of deformity or abnormality considering the termination pills. You never visited an obstetrician. It's a lot to take on, but I feel morally obligated to continue with pregnancy if my promise to you to terminate it for your beliefs is no longer valid. I would feel guilty for doing that if God wants the baby to be born. God has nothing to do with it because you were never pregnant. Considering that I haven't heard from you at all about keeping your promises to me, I'm going to presume you selfishly made up whatever you could to make me take the pills with no intention of keeping your word. That has left me absolutely devastated and will more than likely mean a more difficult life for our baby. There was never a baby. To be honest, I'm really surprised and stunned that it didn't work. Huh? I expected to go today and be told that the termination was successful, but you know that whether or not this pregnancy was still active doesn't have anything to do with why I filed for this. You were never pregnant. Regardless of my results today, I still would have felt the same. You manipulated me into taking pills to get your way, even though you didn't plan to keep your promises at all. Given today and the challenges that I'm guessing we would experience over the next 18 years, never a baby, and beyond, I wanted to ask you one more time if you wanted to date. No. The desperation. If that were the case, I would also keep my promise to you and not have the child. I obviously would drop the lawsuit. I would not feel as guilty doing this surgical termination if I knew it were actually because of a joint decision made with good intentions. There would never be a surgical termination because you were never pregnant. It might seem ridiculous that I would ever consider dating after this legal ordeal, but you know that what you did with lying and ghosting on me was completely inexcusable. And like I said, I would never have pursued this if it weren't for the fact that I was absolutely positive that the child was yours. It was never a child. Today really changed everything because I realized that this is going to change my life dramatically. No, you were a cunt before this, and you kept being a cunt. And if you don't want any sort of custody, I would definitely file for child support, especially since whatever the termination pills cost, it would mean more money in medical expenses. Like you did with me, you can't ghost the lawsuit or financial responsibilities for a baby. There was never a baby. The government will garnish your wages if you don't pay it, so at least I would be accountable for everything. I will have to contact your family for a DNA test soon, so that I can file for prenatal child support. Yeah. There was never a baby to compare with. I am so upset. You can text me if you change your mind on what you want to do. Laura. Thank you, Derek. Thank you so much. £2 super sticker. It is a lemon. What is it? It's a lemon doing yay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gonzalez summation. In this email, Laura still expresses her desire to date Greg. She even tells him she would be open to surgical termination if he still wanted to date her. She also tells him she would drop the lawsuit. Laura makes it clear that if he does not date her, she will file for child support, have his wages garnished, and contact his family for DNA test. Blackmail. Another fucking email? I've been talking with attorney Joe Crotchet this week. He said that I would be foolish not to file for punitive damages in addition to the $45,000 in compensatory damages for tort. Your Crotchets, they never represented. You're lying again. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. More of Jesus Christ, that's a long one. Let's just go to Gonzalez summary. In this email, Laura is threatening to file for additional punitive damages, $75,000 against Greg. She tells him if she does not get an apology and have a relationship with her, she will also not get a surgical termination. Blackmail! Another fucking email. A summation from Gonzalez. In this email, Laura makes it clear that she's going to involve Greg's place of work unless he changes his mind. She even sends him a copy of an email she is going to send to his employer. Blackmail again. But do you see what she is not doing across all of this? Leaving him alone. There will always be one night stand babies. Normally, you actually go to the to the gynecologist. You get confirmed. You get actual papers. You get to the court, the court decides what to do. That would take one or two visits to the gyno and one or two visits to the court. And everything is done. Laura keeps sending these emails because she really doesn't want to go to court, because once she goes to court, there is always a risk that she has to provide actual documentation. And then if they also are actually checks the documentation, she will be exposed as a fraud. Hence, she's sending all these emails in order to get Greg to a place where she doesn't have to prove anything. Her plan against Greg, Mike, Clayton was either to pretend a miscarriage later or have schmecks to eventually get pregnant. That was her plan all along. To trap a man, because she's unable to... Nobody will love her. So she has to trap people. And another fucking email. Well, I know there are so many emails from Laura. So many emails. Which is good for evidentiary reasons. Because every word she says in these emails are being used against her in the criminal case. August 22nd, 2021, blah, 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 blah. Let's go down to the summary here. In this email, Laura explains to Greg that he is getting sued because he did not keep his word about wanting a serious relationship with her. She also makes it clear that if he changes his mind, she can move forward with him. If not, she will move forward with the lawsuit. As I said again, she does not really want to go to court, because the moment she does, unless she can scam the court, which she has done in the past, she's done for. It will be revealed that she is a lying liar who lies, which now, a decade after what she did to Mike, and probably did to others before him, finally, we know the actual truth. Another email. Copy of conversation with Joe Cotchett and contract. First of all, I hope you had a great weekend and that the smoke didn't get as bad as on the peninsula as you thought it would. I miss our dinners and hope you get out here soon. Oh, hi, Uncle Joe. All right, this is... Hi, Uncle Joe. There's no Uncle Joe here. Although I've yet to find another house of prime rib, so lower your standards for now. Again, thank you so much for the enormous help. You being in the sad situation that I'm in. Here's what I'm at. This is what she claims to Greg that she discussed with her lawyer, Joe Cotchett. This, by the way, would remove every attorney-client privilege, what she does here. Every single one of them. After many emails I heard from Greg this morning, he wanted to discuss things tomorrow at 7 p.m. I was surprised, but certainly wanted to give him benefit of the doubt, since all I wanted for him is to keep his word. Since his initial message, I've sent more messages that I know he has read, and they have been left unresponded to. As much as I want to give him more and more chances, I don't think he wants them. I think the best call is to pursue alternative service and try to get him twice. Once by posting on his house door, and the other by calling his company and finding a co-worker to serve him. You have to go through the courts to do this, by the way. I think you're right. You would be better at making those phone calls than me. I texted you the co-workers who we could ask to serve. Once that happens, we can file for the punitive damages like you recommended. I really do stand firm in staying under the 100,000 in punitive damages, but I guess it also depends on the damages to the child, although wouldn't that also be covered in family court? Yeah, poor Uncle Joe. I will think about what you said about trying to go for settlement straight out of the box. I don't want to play this nasty. Honestly, I just wish this never happened, and we could just be happy like he said we could be. Here's hoping he proves us wrong. I'm giving him one more chance. From Joe Cotchett. Okay. To Laura Owens. Yeah, oh, wait a minute. Sent on behalf of Joe Cotchett, responding Laura Owens' pregnancy. I don't remember if this is one of the emails she faked. This is allegedly from Joe Cotchett. Laura, what's the update? I'm ready to get started on this the second you give me the go-ahead. As much as I want this guy to be exactly the man he told you that he is, yeah, I don't know. Lawyers don't speak this way. I'm one sentence in and I'm like, no. I'm always here for you and the whole Owens family. Whenever you need me, and if you want me to go after this guy, I will make this case a top priority. Shh, because I really feel for you right now. Allison sent me over the retention agreement and medical files. Every test result that came into our office matched what you had said. You have an easy open and shut case. If a lawyer, folks, this is not legal advice, but if you talk to a lawyer and that lawyer tells you you have an easy open and shut case, get another lawyer. There's no such thing as an easy open and shut case. If a lawyer tells you this, get another lawyer. This guy has nothing going his way here, and I think he could provide for a real landmark case regarding a termination coercion. No. Sadly, termination coercion is a real thing. Sadly, I would assume in Arizona alone, there are thousands of cases. In that regard, this case is nothing special. This may be very needy, and we could make this a public interest story with a snap of a finger. However, in your interest, we could also just follow for judgment immediately so that you could start receiving money immediately. That's not the way it works, and a lawyer would know that. Remember, any man would feel the luckiest man alive to have you by his side. You were polite, kind, and thoughtful as a little girl, and those qualities got even better as you got older. Regardless of what happens, I am by your side. Uncle Joe Cotchett. Confidentiality notice. This email and then they got blah, 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 no. From Alison Cordova. Is this actually for real? I don't think so. To Tony Stevens. Laura Owens, subject blah, blah, blah. Laura, please see below. Your secretary informed me that we had actually received the medical authorizations from you. Thank you. Everything you told us about pregnancy tests and ultrasounds aligned with the timing you provided us. There were no past pregnancies on your record. We know that's false. We know that's false. And the 3 obstetricians you saw felt that pregnancy was very consistent with intercourse that took place between June 30th and July 1st. She never saw any obstetrician. None whatsoever. They have all also said the termination pills will play a big role in your child's development. It must feel like you have the weight of the world on you, but I have no doubt that the jury will sympathize with your situation. This has to be faked. This has to be faked. This has to be faked. In the above email, Laura sends Greg copies of her conversation with Joe Cotchett and his staff. Greg believed Laura did this to bully him into dating her. She makes it seem like she may hire Joe for the case against Greg. However, she writes that she's going to give Greg one more chance to change his mind and date her. I honestly, those email has to be faked. And even if they were real, she has removed any and all attorney-client privilege by sending this to Greg. Another fucking email. To Greg, Mr. Bowman. From Laura Owens. Let's see. No, Jesus fucking Christ. From Casey Bowman. Okay, this is an interesting, I mean, whatever. Let's see, I have to go through. Sorry for. Let's just read it and see where we get here. Miss Bowman. Wait a minute. August 13th. Let's see here. When was this? August 23rd, 2/32/22. And the next one is. Oh, we have to read it bottoms up. No, I'll just read the summation here. In the above email, Laura sends Greg an email conversation that occurred between her and Casey Bowman, an attorney Greg hired to represent him. She again makes it clear that if Greg engages in a relationship with her, she will drop the lawsuit. She threatens additional lawsuits if he does not pursue a relationship with her. And then more of this crap. In the above email, Laura threatens Greg with criminal charges in addition to the civil lawsuit. Again, she tells him she will drop all charges if he chooses to stand by his word to date her. It's insanity. In the above email, Laura sends Casey an additional email explaining she is going to file criminal charges against Greg and a family court case. She makes it known she has not set budget and she will hire the best representation. Laura again makes it clear that Greg has a relationship with her. She would drop all lawsuits. In the above email, Laura is claiming Greg's attorney reached out to Joe's office. Laura says she did not hire Joe yet, and she's representing herself. So first of all, it doesn't really matter because I do believe those emails they have to be fake. And if they're not faked, Attorney Joe gave legal advice without being hired. That would be an extraordinary violation. So I do believe all of this is every time she references Uncle Joe and communications, it has to be fake. Laura sends another email to Greg explaining she had not hired Joe. She also attached a photo showing Joe is a family friend. Oh, he must be fucking delighted. And this is her. This is Laura contacting Greg's place of work. You cahoot. Here it is, Laura contacting his place of work, saying, "Hi, I filed a civil lawsuit against a salesman at your Scottsdale location, Greg Gillespie, and wondered if I could confidentially confirm the dates that he was out on CVID leave in July and August. The illness is unrelated to the case, but my father is going through radiation for cancer right now and is having CVID symptoms." Okay. I am helping to care for him. No, you don't. And wondered if I may have been asymptomatic after being in close contact with him and then transmitted into my dad. Ugh. I would really appreciate you not involving him, and if I could just have help in tracing back how he had been exposed. I think it had to be through me, although at this point I'm testing negative. Thanks, Laura. The above email was forwarded to Greg from one of his co-workers. Laura tells Greg's employer she has filed a lawsuit against Greg. She also attempts to get Greg's employer to share information about Greg's time off. This is the last email Greg sent to me regarding his issues dealing with Laura Owens. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it has to be faked. Yeah, as you said, there would have been retention paperwork and her lawyer would have contacted Greg's lawyer. Results of obtaining medical records. Throughout this investigation, it was discovered Laura claimed to have visited multiple medical offices. The following medical offices were served subpoenas to obtain medical records related to Laura's alleged pregnancy. Sonora Quest Labs. Contact Amber Wood, custodian of record. Subpoena response. Findings. On 10/16/2023, Laura participated in an 8cg quantitative blood test. The result of the test showed a result of 102. This test is also the subject of a deposition question in which Laura admits to manipulating the results. She manipulated the results to show 131,902. Laura says she manipulated the result to get Dave Neal to leave her alone about false pregnancy allegations. There were no other records provided by Sonora and Quest Labs related to this investigation. SMIL Southwest Medical Imaging. Findings. SMIL provided multiple medical records indicated Laura used their services. However, none of the medical records provided are related to this investigation. Laura did use an ultrasound image that shows the name SMIL on it to prove Clayton she was pregnant. Laura admitted she changed the name of the medical facility, the date, and her name on the ultrasound. She claimed to do so so Clayton would not find out the location of where she participated in the ultrasound. This ultrasound is possibly a forged version of Laura's sister's real ultrasound, and it was also provided to Dr. Medchill so he could give his expert opinion during the evidentiary hearing. Banner Health. Findings. On 06/01/23, Laura participated in a urine pregnancy POC test. The medical record indicates a pregnancy control line of plus with a clear background. HCG positive. Laura was given instruction for taking care of yourself in early pregnancy and was also prescribed a prenatal multivitamin to be taken once a day during the first trimester. Laura obtained a positive HCG pregnancy test from Banner Health. There are no other records to this investigation. This here, with her positive pregnancy test, was at the same time that Laura Owens was at the weight control facility buying HCG to inject herself. Family Planning Associates. Finding: no records were found for Laura Owens, also known as Emily Wilson. No records whatsoever on family planning. She lied. We have evidence she lied. That. Scottsdale Perinatal Associates. Finding: no medical records were found for Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson. The office did provide multiple pages of correspondence regarding Laura. She scheduled 4 appointments, rescheduled 3 times, and then cancelled. She was never seen by Scottsdale Perinatal Associates. She lied. Evidence. She lied. Planned Parenthood, Los Angeles. Remember in the hearing when she said, no, I never went to the Viejo. I went to LA. Planned Parenthood, LA. Findings: no records were found for Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson. Laura testified in Judge Mala's court during the evidentiary hearing that she went to a Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles and got an ultrasound done. The ultrasound she was referring to is the forged ultrasound that is now believed to be her sister's. She lied. She lied. Honor Health. Findings: Honor Health provided medical records indicated Laura used their services. However, none of the medical records are related to this investigation. She went to Honor Health. No pregnancy. No, she didn't go there for pregnancy reasons. Suddenly Slimmer Med Spa. First of all, Suddenly Slimmer Med Spa. Why the fuck did you accept Laura Owens as a client when she came in there at 100 pounds? Why did you accept her as a client? Subpoena. Oh, no records were found for Laura Owens. Huh? That would explain it. They actually never did. Women's Care of Phoenix. Finding: Laura Owens made an appointment to see Dr. Jeffrey Hiley. The appointment never took place because it was cancelled by Laura. Laura testified during a hearing presided over by Judge Mada that she was seen by Dr. Higley. Vida Bella Med Spa and Weight Loss. Contact, blah, blah, blah. Subpoena response. No! Why is this blacked out? I assume this has to do with the criminal investigation, and that is still ongoing, so they blacked out the response because of that. And Greg Gillespie told me it was around July 18th that Laura claimed to be pregnant with his child, when she sent him a picture of a positive pregnancy test. No other messages in Laura's iCloud have been found from 2021 relating to HCG. Vida Bella Med Spa and Weight Loss Center did not have any records pertaining to Laura. Doug, an employee at the center, told us the telephone number rings to their office phones, but the cell phone it's associated with does not get used, so no text messages are responded to. Innova Med Spa. Blacked out. Blah, 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 blah. Name the facility the ultrasound was taken at, and the date the ultrasound was taken. Laura claimed she went to a Planned Parenthood facility in Coast Mesa, California, and used an AKA because she didn't want Clayton to find out. Through the course of the legal proceedings leading up to the evidentiary hearing in Judge Mala's court, Clayton's legal team was able to request medical records from Planned Parenthood Orange County and San Bernardino County, California. No record of Laura Owens or her alias Emily Laura Wilson was found. During the hearing in Judge Mala's court, Laura was questioned about this. She responded by asking if Los Angeles County Planned Parenthood was checked, and she said she went to a Planned Parenthood there. During this investigation, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office subpoenaed and received a response from Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles. They did not have any records of Laura Owens or Emily Laura Wilson. MomDoc. Findings. Laura Owens participated in a doctor's appointment at MomDoc. During the appointment, Laura stated she had a positive pregnancy test on June, and the pregnancy was confirmed by Planned Parenthood. She lied to MomDoc. She stated she did not have a subsequent care and started bleeding a few weeks after the ultrasound. Laura reported she passed 2 sacs, which appeared to have a membrane but denied having much bleeding. She continued to take hormone pregnancy tests to assess if she was still pregnant and ordered a test from any labs now, which showed a low level of HCG. She came to MomDoc to find out she was still pregnant. During the assessment, Laura had a negative pregnancy test because she was never pregnant to begin with. Dignity Health. Findings. On 10/11/23, Laura Owens participating in a telemedicine visit with Dr. Zeman. That's an unfortunate name. Are you a gynecologist, Dr. Zeman? Maybe it's not pronounced that way, but it's funny. The visits are not recorded. In Dr. Zeman's notes, she wrote, Since Laura contacted our office in June to report she recently found out she was pregnant. I encouraged her to continue lamotrigine and start folic acid. Today, Laura reports she is still pregnant, 21 weeks with twins. That's self-reporting to Dignity Health. On 11/29/2025, Laura was participated in a telemedicine visit with Dr. Zeman. The visits are not recorded. In Dr. Zeman's notes, she wrote, I last saw Laura in October. At that time, she reported she was 21 weeks pregnant with twins. Today, Laura reports she lost her pregnancy. Her OB-GYN thinks it was a chromosome thing. She passed 2 things that looked like fetuses. That was no... They must mean 2023 here, not 2025. This again, self-reporting to Dignity Health. Laura participated in appointments prior to and after the dates above, but doctors did not note anything about her pregnancy in their office clinic notes. One Medical has acknowledged receiving a subpoena for Laura Owens' medical records and are in the process of sending the information to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Interview with One Medical employees. Lisa Daniels, PAC, and Madeline Sobek, Associate Counsel, employees of One Medical, did participate in an interview referenced in this investigation prior to a subpoena being sent to One Medical. Below is a summary of the interview. On 9/4/24, Detective T.Boe and I conducted a Zoom interview with Lisa Daniels. She is a physician assistant at One Medical. The interview was also attended by Madeline Sobek. Madeline is legal counsel for One Medical. The interview was recorded and saved to the server. The following is a summary of the interview, although not verbatim. For additional information, please refer to the recording. I explained to Lisa, a note was sent to Greg from Laura. The note contained Lisa's picture and her title at One Medical. It also contained One Medical's logo. I asked Lisa if she authored the note. She told me no. I asked her if anyone had permission to use One Medical's logo, and she told me no. I asked if anyone had a permission. I asked Madeline if One Medical was willing to prosecute if someone used their logo without permission. Madeline explained they want to wait to see how the investigation plays out, and she wanted to speak with her team about the matter. Madeline said the screenshot of the note appeared as though it was taken from what you would see in a One Medical patient's portal if a provider sent a message to a patient. I asked Lisa if she was willing to aid in prosecution. She told me she would if necessary, but she is concerned about retaliation. I asked Lisa and Madeline if they know who Julie Ulrich is and if Laura Owens was a patient at One Medical. They confirmed that Julie is a provider at One Medical, and Laura has been a patient at One Medical. Lisa and Madeline were shown a video of a meeting between Laura and Julie. Oh. Madeline confirmed that a patient can access a provider through a video call. I asked if a provider would document information regarding domestic abuse. Lisa said the providers document what patient tell them, and they can ask appropriate questions about the situation. I asked Lisa if the video call was still available. She told me video calls are not saved, but the provider may document what was said in their notes. Madeline provided us with some information on how to acquire medical records. After answering some general questions from Lisa and Madeline about the investigation, the interview was concluded. Yeah, this Lisa Daniels, that would be the identity theft charge. Since Laura not only faked One Medical and the logo, she faked the entire note as being from Lisa Daniels. So that would be the identity theft charge. Second interview with Clayton. All right. On 1/16/25, Detective Boe and I conducted an interview with Clayton Echard. The interview was audio recorded and saved to the server, blah, 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 blah. Detective Boe asked Clayton about an ultrasound he saw during a call with Bonnie Platter. Clayton said he was on Zoom call with Bonnie because Laura would not send Clayton a copy of it. Laura told Clayton her attorney had a copy of the ultrasound. Bonnie showed Clayton the ultrasound of a Zoom, and he took a screenshot of it. This is the same ultrasound Laura admitted to altering. She said she changed the name and location it was taken. Clayton believes she submitted this ultrasound in the hearing with Judge Doody. Clayton speculates a lot of the photos and documents Laura was using belonged to her sister. He believed this because Laura posted a video on Reddit that shows her dad touching a pregnant stomach. In the video, the person with the pregnant stomach's head could not be seen. Clayton said it was later proven that the pregnant person in the video was Laura's sister. I asked Clayton if she sent the video to him, and he could not remember. He said Laura was put things into a Reddit file to prove she was pregnant. Clayton told us people on the internet were saying that Laura's sister was pregnant, and the things Laura was posting probably belonged to Laura's sister. I asked Clayton how it was proven that the video was Laura's sister, and he said it was speculation based on what the internet was saying. Clayton said he believes Laura was using some type of prosthetic belly to appear pregnant in court, and before that bloating her stomach to appear pregnant. He said they were never able to prove she was doing this, and he was speculating this was happening based on the comments made on the internet. I asked Clayton if he remembers the video Laura played in the beginning of the hearing with Judge Doody. Clayton told me he thinks it's the video he posted about the RevGem test, coming back with little to no DNA. I asked Clayton if Laura sent him videos of her looking pregnant. He said she did. Clayton said he received a video via text from Laura, and she turned to the side and appeared pregnant. He also showed us a video of an ultrasound, baby A and baby B, that Laura told him was hers. Clayton told us someone online found the same video and sent it to him. He put the video side by side to show the judge, but he felt the judge really didn't pay much attention. That judge didn't. At all. Detective Boe asked Clayton about hacking, and he said Laura accused Greg Gillespie of hacking her. He also said Laura later tonight sending the video baby A, baby B video to him. I asked Clayton if Greg Gillespie ever sent him anything showing Laura did the same thing to him. Clayton said he and Greg talked. Greg told him he caught Laura using an ultrasound from a baby blog that was not hers, the Vanishing Twins blog. That's Stormy Mitchell's blog. Oh, still pisses me off. Clayton said Laura sued Greg for forcing her to take termination pills, and he felt like she was trying to do the same thing to him. Laura told him she bought termination pills that she could take a month after the Plan B pill was taken. He said Laura asked him if he wanted her to take the pills. Clayton told her he did not want to have a child with her, but she could take the pills if she wanted to. Clayton showed us a video that Laura submitted during the hearing with Judge Galketsis. The video is dated 10/9/23 and shows Laura wearing a tan sports bra and black leggings. She appears to have a pregnant belly in the video. On 3/04/23, Detective T.Boe and I were able to obtain a copy of the video Laura used in the Galketsis hearing from the Maricopa County Superior Court. I showed Clayton a printout of communication between Laura and Dr. McCool that appeared to be from the followmyhealth.com portal on 7/13/23. He told me he had not seen that printout, but told me he took a similar screenshot from the Follow My Health portal. He remembers what the top of the screenshots looked like. Clayton showed me the screenshot he took from Follow My Health, and the body of the message started with, "Good morning. Multiples can be seen. It should be noted that Dr. McCool never sent either message we were discussing." Clayton told us he accused Laura of photoshopping documents because he could see pixelation. He told us Laura denied doing so. Clayton told us he was sending Laura's email to a blocked folder, and the folder was erasing them after 2 months. He started to screen grab the emails and their attachments once he realized this was happening. I asked Clayton if his email store in the cloud, and said he did not have the cloud connected at the time. Clayton also told us he saved his responses to her emails and to her text messages blacked out. Detective Boe asked Clayton if he suffered any financial loss because of the situation with Laura. He said he lost a brand deal and can account for about $5,000 in losses. Clayton believed he lost tens of thousands of dollars in deals because of the situation. Detective Boe asked Clayton about a letter Laura wrote threatening to sue him for $1.4 million. He said she sent the letter to his lawyers, but he said she sent a shorter letter in an email chain. Clayton could not find the letter in the email chain during the interview. This concluded our interview with Clayton. The rest of the recording was about setting up a time with Clayton to download his phone. Interview with Dr. Carmen Mora, Innova Med Spa. On 3/26/25, Detective Boe and I conducted an interview with Dr. Carmen Mora. The interview was audio recorded, blah, 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 blah. I asked Dr. Mora if they currently prescribe HCG. She told me they do. Dr. Mora explained her office prescribed it for weight loss. I asked her if someone injected HCG and then took the pregnancy urine test, if the test would have a positive result. Dr. Mora told us if someone took an HCG injection and took a urine pregnancy test the same day their pregnancy test can show up positive. Detective Boe asked Dr. Mora, how long does somebody take HCG for? Dr. Mora said it's injected daily. Boe asked if a man were to take the HCG and he took a urine pregnancy test, if the test would be positive. Dr. Mora explained the urine pregnancy test is for testing for HCG, so a male would probably get a positive result. Dr. Mora did indicate she had never had anyone try it. I asked Dr. Mora how long someone usually takes HCG. She said usually 3 to 6 months, depending on how much weight they are trying to lose. Dr. Mora said a month's supply of HCG can be bought at a time, and the patient can give themselves daily injections. Boe asked Mora, can someone use HCG to show that they are pregnant? She said she wasn't sure because the amount of HCG that's injected is small, and she indicated the body is making more than the amount being injected. Dr. Mora said she's been selling HCG for 10 years and she has never had anybody do something like that. She said most people know when you're pregnant you shouldn't be taking anything. Dr. Mora said each injection has 20 ml of HCG in it. She told it would be better to ask a gynecologist about the amount of HCG it would take to show pregnant. She explained she doesn't deal with pregnancies. That concluded our interview with Dr. Mora. And blacked out. Maricopa County Attorney's Office submittal form. Suspect information, Laura Owens. Charges, fraudulent schemes, artifices, perjury, tampering with physical evidence, making false statements, forgery with written instrument. And now we know there are 3 additional. Well, we now know there are 14. 7 for Clayton, 7 for Greg, including but not limited to perjury, tampering with evidence, forgery, fraudulent schemes, identity theft. And that, folks, takes us to page 118, the final page of this. Folks, if it wasn't clear before that Laura Owens is a lying, conniving, evil cahoot, what we have been going through for the past week in 5 episodes, in my opinion, what's in here alone calls for a guilty verdict on each count. Now, what would that mean for Laura Owens? Well, if she is found guilty on each count, and the judge applies the maximum on each and every one of them, we reasonably, because not all can be stacked, they are concurrently, but up to 10 years is my belief. Now, she is charged as a repeat offender, first time charged or first time discovered. So, in the eyes of the court, she is a repeat offender. I'm not too happy about that conduct because isn't it sad that LO's court reading makes your jaw hurt to read so much? Well, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But yeah, if you just joined, you have and wonder what did we went through on the first 4 episodes? Well, the entirety of this document. I have every episode linked in the description, so you can go back and check it out. It is also a separate playlist called, let's see what I call it, the Laura Owens criminal case. And it is a part of the larger case of Laura Owens, the tonsil twins and things. Fetal attraction tonsil twins case. And I've been covering this for quite some time now. And I have 20 videos and streams. So if you want to catch up, just go to that playlist, go to the first episode, and have 2 days maybe. If you watch it all back to back, maybe 2 days. I hope you do, because not sure when the next update in the Laura Owens serial pregnancy scammer Laura Owens saga, but I do believe with the latest in the bankruptcy court against her parents, that it was dismissed, there will be something in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, Gigi, It's too bad Legal Voices isn't here to laugh with us at this insanity. Yeah. Jeff's coverage of this back in 2024 is absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. But this sort of concludes what I have as of now. Now, we do have the true bills with summons, but the certificate of service, subpoena duces tecum, victim information sheet. I mean, there are other things I can go through, but I think I'm going to save some of the things I haven't gone through to when it boils up to like this series of videos and streams. Derek says, I know she deserved to go to jail, but I think she belongs in a mental hospital for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, she does. Folks, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, doing all the YouTube things. Thank you to you over at Rumble as well for following this case with me. Next week, I'm probably going to do a thing with Mo. Mo is going while she is on verdict watch, she's going to play a trial in reverse, starting with closing arguments and then walk backwards. Which is really interesting. I tried it. I've done it once, about 2.5 years ago, with the OnlyFans stalker in the addict case or attic case. That was interesting to do. That case ended up with more or less all of us having, this OnlyFans girl had a stalker living in her attic, and we still had more sympathy for him than for her. All right, folks. You all have a great Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you tomorrow. You all have a good one. Thank you again. And I will see you in the next stream or video. Bye-bye.